Hello everyone, welcome back. Today, I'm playing Stanley Parable again. Last time, it was a lot of fun. I really hope you guys enjoyed it last time. I know I certainly did. And just remember, if you like content like this, leave a comment down below. Let me hear about it. If there's other games you want me to play, just comment down, say something. So without further ado, I guess I'll go on.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Look, it does curve to the right. Last episode it was curving to the left. What the heck?
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I'll go right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible
We'll just go
room,
by it.
Stanley for the
It's a very nice room, though.
Business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Or I didn't.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Went on here.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
But I know she isn't real now.
Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Oh.
That's her, Stanley. You
It's
need
her,
to be
huh?
the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
I don't want to pick up the phone. What if I unplug it? Oh, what if I unplug it?
As Stanley picked up
I
the phone,
can.
a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait.
It's your
Oh, goodness.
narrator?
Stanley, did you just unplug the phone?
I did.
No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person.
That's right. It's
I can't
me,
believe I was so
Sugarcane.
mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did
That
you
would
not
be
grasp
correct.
the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice.
Oh, wow.
It's the best part of being
This
a
is
real
cool.
person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Stephen has a choice. He could spend years helping improve the quality of life for citizens of impoverished third world nations. Or he could systematically set fire to every orphan living in a 30-kilometer radius of his house. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real.
They're
Allow
not
the
real,
person
huh?
to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best
That's
part to a
dangerous.
healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Oh boy.
Ah,
Whoa.
welcome back. You may have noticed
More
that this room has
charts.
begun to deteriorate
Stop.
as a result
Danger
of narrative
everywhere.
contradiction. But not to worry.
Exit?
Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you
Please,
made just a
I'm
few
begging.
minutes ago and see what the correct
Stop.
thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Interesting. It's got a fence on it now.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all.
That is
We just
true.
need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Not equipped to deal with reality, huh? What happens if I get back on it? Nothing. But what now? The door's not open anymore.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
Oh, will I?
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I'm going right.
No! Why did you do
Whoa.
that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Wow. Things got a little messed up. Uh-oh.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what?
Everything is okay.
What did you get out of that? What did you
Says it
think
right
was
over
so
there.
special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that
Listen,
my story is
it
now
says
incorrect?
everything's
How can I
okay.
go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely?
Everywhere.
To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to.
Don't do it.
I have to.
Don't do it. Oh. Wow. Whoa.
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You, who thought you were so clever. Now look where
I
we
am
are.
clever.
My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be
That door
funny?
totally
You
looks
just had
like
to see?
someone went through with
Didn't
an
I
axe.
impress upon you how important it was to be
Here's
like
Johnny.
Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it.
Don't
That
get
thought
angry
hadn't
at
even
me.
occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you?
Everything's
You're a
okay.
child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have
I already
destroyed
saw it.
and been victorious. It would have been so perfect.
I
worked
already
so
saw
hard
it,
on
narrator.
I
Don't
tried
get
so
mad
hard
at me.
to behave exactly as Stanley would. That means
Whoa.
choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I'll go right.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry.
Whoa.
Is be-
Is it broken now?
When Stanley came to a set of 2
Nope.
open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I don't see any doors. This is just what it comes down to. I can't do nothing anymore. It's fine, I'll just begin again. Because the end is never. There's never an end.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I did.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I'm gonna go downstairs. There's a car, I can
But
escape.
Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then
1,
something
2,
occurred to Stanley.
B4.
Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All
I'm
of my
not crazy.
coworkers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
I
Why
can't
did
see my
doors close
feet.
automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter,
Why did
these
they
rooms were
close?
starting to look pretty familiar. Were they
They
simply
are.
repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming!
I'm dreaming.
This is all a
course.
dream. Oh, what a relief
just a nightmare.
Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying, and began to gently float above the
I'm
ground.
flying.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared.
Whoa,
it was so
that's
much
cool.
fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head?
Why is there a voice in my
everything that I'm
head?
doing and thinking?
Why is he talking about
Now
me?
the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange.
Why is this?
I'm dreaming
What?
about a voice describing
Why is there a
me,
voice in my
thinking
head
about how
talking
it's
about me,
describing my
thinking about how
thoughts,
I'm
he
talking
thought.
about it?
And while he thought it all very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley.
I'm awake.
After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago?
Yeah.
How else would the voice explain
has
all
to be a
that?
dream. I
This
flew
voice
and
was
went
a
through
part of himself
stars.
too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back,
Wake up.
the fresh air of a world outside
Wake
this
up.
one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I
don't
want
have
is
a
my
wife.
life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
I'm still here. Freak out.
Stanley
get
began
out.
screaming.
Please help,
wake me
someone,
up. My
please.
name is Stanley.
I'm Stanley.
I have a boss. I have an
I'm
office.
real.
I am real.
I swear.
Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must
Someone
be
help,
real.
my
I must
vision's
be.
going
Can
red.
anyone hear my
Please,
voice?
help.
Who am I?
Please.
Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Oh?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was
Is that me?
interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy.
There's that
This
car.
much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought
I'm
to
not
herself
crazy.
how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest
Is she
of her
going to
life.
replace me
She
at my
had no time
job?
for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
She ran? What about helping me? What the heck?
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
Is it? Is it not the right office? I like how I actually get an office, but these people are stuck in like their cubicles. Wow. There's a door open. Can we get back there?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Sure.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
But what if I just go in the broom closet?
Oh no, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Okay, obviously that's supposed to be a mop because this is a mop bucket right here. But boy, that looks like a broom, the way it's standing up so straight. Just saying. You really not gonna say anything? What about the broom closet ending? Isn't that a thing? Who knows? I guess I'll leave it for now.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
And still going here. It's nice. Is the writing? The writing changed. I've got the feeling money's for stealing. But not yours, of course. Say, that's a lovely purse. Both of those doors are shut? Huh. Another input.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
Narrator's getting tired of his own story. Well, suppose we might as well go this way.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
You know what? I think I'm gonna escape.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door behind him was not shut.
There is
Stanley
no
still
door.
had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
There was no door. You have an inconsistency. I'm
At
not
this
going to
point,
listen to
Stanley
you.
was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Gotta go down there, huh? Ooh. Found something. Whoa.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise,
Oh, is it gonna crush me?
he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture.
There's a
He doesn't know
catwalk
the
down
real
there.
Story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life.
Why would this building have this, though?
Farewell, Stanley.
have a new narrator.
As Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Whoa. Okay, this is giving me some Poppy Playtime vibes here. Had to walk with boxes.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
You know what? This new narrator reminds me of, the narrator from the kids show, Caillou. That's what that reminds me of. Ooh, how fancy.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Wow. Stanley's computer. Hey, office layout. This blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The path from Stanley's office to the two doors was the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout development, though the core layout remains almost identical to the first iteration. That's cool. Corridor. The pacing of this opening section was important to get right. The corridor has been moved and altered to make sure the player reaches the two doors in a good time. The two doors. The set of two open doors was the very first concrete piece of the Stanley Parable's design. Once the room was created, the rest of the game emerged as an extension of it, an exploration of the contradiction the room possessed, or posed, sorry. Filing cabinets, office computers. I can turn all these off. Oh. And more office stuff. The office. We get to see 1, 2, and 3. Button sounds. A selection of the sounds used throughout the game when buttons are pressed. Each sound is a mix of a keyboard stroke and a synthesized tone. Here's the credits of the lovely people who made this game. And our narrator, Kevin Brighting. Sorry. Yeah, I think I saw something recently. They're going to be making another version of the Stanley Parable. So, the maintenance room, an early version of the maintenance room. Okay, let's see. These are screenshots of the Stanley Parable HD remix. More endings, fewer endings. More narrators, fewer narrators. More Stanley, less Stanley. The point of the Stanley Parable HD remix is to win. Meanwhile, the point of the Stanley Parable HD remix is to lose. What a contradictory statement. Am I going crazy? Maybe it isn't the same image. Was that clock there before? I don't remember. How do I go back? Can you check for me? A lot of text. Larger text. Words. All sorts of stuff. Warzone. Alien base, awesome. Whoa, that looks like Tron. Let's see here. Warzone. Early in development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up in a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpreted it as making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. And you should have included it. That would have been awesome. I mean, look at it. That's so cool. If the inside was like that, I'd love to explore it. Oh, green light. In September 2012, we submitted the Stanley Parable to the Greenlight, Valve's process of approving games for Steam. The Greenlight page has only a series of cryptic photos, which we were still enough to win the community's approval. Nice. What's this? Am I Stanley? Are you spying on me? I don't blank why. How? Question. Will the game feature capybaras? What is that? Whoa, that's a lot. Narrator emails. After the second trailer we sent out, we asked people to email the narrator for questions. While we had initially planned to use these in future promotional materials, we never found the perfect use for them. Here are a selection of those emails. Wow. What is Stanley's last name? Are you gay? Wow. Going kind of fast. What is your message for today? There's a skeleton inside of you. There are more skeletons in this world than humans. Thanks and goodbye. Thank you, Civ. Why was the subject final warning with that? Let's see. An early version of the lounge. The apartment timer. In a previous version of the choice leading to the apartment ending, a timer would give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not picking up the phone would lead you to a different ending. Wow. Again, Unus Annus vibes here. If you know what that is. What was funny was when Unus Annus had their final live stream, I was watching it on my PS4 with YouTube, and because things are a little janky with it and it doesn't quite refresh, it literally just restarted the live stream for me, and I was able to watch the whole thing again. So that was awesome. I got to see the beginning with some of the parts I missed. The cargo lift. This second version is functionally the same as what's in the final game, but we wanted it to look more like a place where cargo was actually stored. I don't get it. This looks more like a portal map. Let's see. The cargo lift. The cargo lift was always intended to offer the choice of staying on or jumping to a different path. However, after this early version, we decided we also wanted the option of the player falling to their death. Wow. What's this? Maintenance layout. The flow of hallways following the first two doors was important to get right, since players will replay them so many times. We discussed a number of designs, but ultimately it was the simplest version that won out. Number 1. Option. One doorway to maintenance in the lounge. Let's see here. Option 2. 2 doorways to maintenance. Option 3. 1 doorway to maintenance in the lounge and the original back on track option. Number 4, vent. What about this? Oh, so were these different concepts for it? Dude, a vent would have been so cool. Honestly. Go this way. Zending levers. These levers were originally part of the Zending. The player would pull a lever, and the narrator would describe the color lever they had pulled. Zending. This screenshot depicts an early version of the ending known as Zending, which was eventually cut and merged with another part of the game. Zending model. The Zending went through many iterations. This room represents the 4th version of the ending, and we thought it was complete, but decided to abandon and change it again shortly before launch. Interesting. Game's now paused. Escape menu. For a long time we had an ending that only ended when the player restarted from the escape menu. Unfortunately, very few players realized this was what they were supposed to do, which was frustrating for everyone. I remember playing this a long time ago when the menu actually looked like that. Now it looks like this. Good times. Trailers. We ran 4 major teaser trailers over the course of the game's development, each meant to convey something about the spirit of the game. This was the first one, released in May 2012. It features a series of broken rooms and the voice of the narrator informing viewers that he is preparing a new version of the Stanley Parable. Too bad there's no sound. Oh wow, so they're just showing off their assets, huh? Cool. Oh. Countdown desk. One of the desks from an early version of the Countdown ending. So is this supposed to be like when you turn the mind control back on? Or something? Freedom ending. This is the freedom ending as it existed in the beta. Very beautiful. That's the exit. Monitor room elevator. For a time, the elevator in the monitor room could go up or down, with freedom above and countdown below. We abandoned this when players found it too difficult to remember what was up and what was down, and placed the 2 endings together instead. I actually remember a long time ago playing when it had the 2 buttons here. Good times. Countdown room, an early version of the countdown room. Looks a lot more professional. It's this way. Freedom ending. This was the first incarnation of the freedom ending in the game's alpha. Something's talking. And I've come for full circle, so I'll go this way now. Boss's office. Screens from the development of the boss's office. They all have that big window. That's what we got right there, I think. Or no, it's not, because there's chairs on the side. That one's just got chairs in the front. And that one's got 2 different chairs. Interesting. Underground, an early version of the underground portion of the game. Interesting. Narration outtakes. Kevin Brightening, the voice actor of the narrator, recorded dialogue for the entire game roughly 3 separate times over the 2 years of development. These are clips from early takes that were not used in the final game. Interesting.
Then he pushed the number 4. look closely, Stanley. See how it's impossible for the player to do anything in this room. Perfect example of poor level design. Textbook mistake. It's the kind of thing you pick up on intuitively if you have even the most...
There's a large draft in here.
Good and bad design. But of course, you being you, you'll probably spend the next hour trying to solve it. Here, I'm just going to make this easier. When Stanley came to the lift, he traveled upward to the power source at the top of the facility. Endless injustice. And Stanley stood...
Interesting. So now I'll go this way. Let's see. Game design mockup. This is the level that William, the level designer, sent Davey, the writer, as a kind of audition piece. The strength of this level got William hired to design the full game. Though much of the environment has changed, the basic layout from this mockup is still in the game. Interesting. I mean, that's one heck of a mock-up. Good job, my guy. No wonder they hired you. You're really good. Let's see. Stanley's office. From left to right, the evolution of Stanley's office over time. The first was created in November 2011. The second in March 2012. And the third in February 2013. That's what it looked like before the game came out, I think. This was what it first looked like. I think I remember this one. And then this is what we have now. We gained a cardboard box. We lost a mug and a computer. Well, I think I've seen everything, so... Let's exit.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy
Yeah, she sounds like the narrator from Caillou.
How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another?
Not really.
No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
I mean, you didn't really show me why I need the
Listen
narrator.
to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now.
Yeah, but that's someone else. That's not me. I'm destined to die here, lady.
Choose for you. Don't let time.
Welp, that Stanley is gone now. I believe it's just a black void now, so I guess I'll just begin again. Because the end is never. But I think that's where I'll call it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. I really like playing this game, so if you guys like this, leave a like down below, comment, and subscribe. So with that, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you next time.